Hello, everyone, and welcome to World of Mike. Now, today, yes, we are back with the Spitfire. Bloody hell, that was quick, Mark. You're here already. So here we are with the Spitfire. It's very good to be back working on this project. Obviously, we have took a slight break from this while I tried to figure out how to piece the cockpit together, what with the parts being delayed. So here we are with issue number 32. We've got Mark's mods here today, so let's put that up on the screen. Mark says hello, and also Yorkshire Crafter. Now, we have got severe weather conditions, so the stream might cause some technical hitches. So today we are working on fitting the radiators into the housing, a fairly easy issue, and it shouldn't take long. So as you can see, this is what it's going to look like. So we're going to be basically just constructing this lovely little compartment of a radiator, which is going to look like that. And as you can see, it comes down and looks like that from the outside. So let's get started. It's so nice to be working back on this, I have to say. Right, let's go through the parts first of all. So this part here, 32i, as you can see here, this part here is the angled pipe, apparently, as you can see there. You won't be needing to use this in this issue. This is very, very delicate. Let's move that down here so you can see. It's a very delicate piece, so make sure that you don't lose that. So we'll pop that over to one side. The next section, which is the main section of this issue today, is 3202, which is your radiator housing. So this is going to be the main compartment we're going to be working on in this issue. The next part here is 3203, and this has some very nice detailing on it, if you zoom up a bit. And as you can see, no detailing there, so it only goes the one way. 3203 is your radiator housing flap. So that's that part there. Moving on to 3204 and 3205, which are near enough identical. That is 3204 and 5 is your radiator housing again. And then last but not least is this gorgeous piece of mesh. Look at that. That's very cool. So that is your piece of mesh. Now, obviously, that is going to be very tiny to get cut out. I'm just going to reposition this because I just feel that I'm being dragged off the map. So as you can see, this is a very small sprue section, and this is where these parts here come in handy from the lovely World of Wayne's Emporium shop thing that he has on Amazon. So let's get started and let's get our first piece. So this is 3202. What we're going to do is we're going to put the flap, which is this part here. Now you can actually see that we've got some pins on there, as you can see, either end. Now what's going to happen is we've got a hole just here, and we've got a hole another part just here. So it's adjacent to both of them, and this will act as a flap. So obviously once that's in, it's going to hinge and go like that once it's in. So this goes the one way. You want it so that the pins are at the bottom, and it should theoretically, if we just position that, it should, we've got to get it in a hole. You see there's a pin in the hole here. I think the easiest way is to probably put this down first and then just guide it down if we can. Maybe not. Okay, let me try it this technique. And then just prise it open a smidge. Hopefully. Yeah, that ain't going to work. So let's try giving it a go. Quite a tight fit, this. Oh, gosh. Yeah, that's quite a tight fit. Wow. Okay. It's definitely got to go down that gap. My concern is it will break the pin off. So let's try. It's got to go in like that. Just trying to see if I can prise that apart, just to get that in that hole. Because it's got to go in this pin. There we go, there we go, there we go. I'm getting it in. It's coming in. Yes, I got one in. Oh, thank you. Excellent. It's just a little bit of prizing job. And once we prize it, we should be able to slot that. You'll feel it clicking. There we go. Fantastic. So as you can see, that's gone on this side here. And what that will do is it will pivot like that. So it acts as a flap. Doesn't seem to go the full way because you've got like this little line here that prevents it. But it's literally a fraction of a flap. You can see how much it moves there. I just position it there. and then there. It doesn't really move a lot, so you've not got much play in that. Right, so that's that part there. Now it does actually going to be quite small, this, so that's quite interesting. Now what we're going to do is, it does actually say in step 2 to identify the 4 radiator panels marked 1, 2, 3 and 4. So as you can see, these are numbered and I can just about see them. So you've got 1 here, 2 here, 3 here and 4 there. It does actually say to not cut the parts out from the frame until they are needed. So what we're going to do is, it says here to remove parts 2 and 3 from the frame and align the edges to the parts. So obviously you can see here that that is a different design. That's a different design compared to the top one up here, because these are going to join together. So the ones we need is part 2, which is this lovely section over here. I'm going to try and figure out how we're going to get this out, because these pins are extremely small. So I wonder, yeah, right, I'm getting some play in that. So this isn't, I would prefer to use the cutters, but you can see here that that's not going to get down that gap. So I'm going to try, I think if you just alleviate it like that, we should be able to get that off, I think. Yeah, I can't see why that would make a problem, because it's got to come out there. And as you can see, that's come off really quite nice. So that's that part. We now need step 3. Whoops, there we go. Part 3 is, let's have a look here. So that's 2, this one's 3 over the back here. So this is part 3. So we'll get this part out here. Now I do just want to say that this, the Spitfire is gradually returning to my channel, but as I'm sure you can appreciate, there is a massive delay with the cockpit replacement. So I've looked at 35, which is the, I think it's the gear motor in 35 or 34 maybe. And I can actually work around that, so that's going to be quite good. So these are the 2 parts that we need. Now what we now need to do is to marry these up. So you want it so that these lines, the ones that are going sideways, we want to match it up so that the ones going, so you've got lines that are going like that, and then lines that are shooting up the top, okay? That's the one that needs to slot on top of that, like that, okay? Now, it doesn't actually say to glue it, so these will just sit like that. That is very nice. Look at that. The detail on that is absolutely stunning. That's gorgeous. Oh, wow. That's really cool. I like that. So what we're going to do now is, this is where this part goes in here. Now, it does actually say to take the radiator panel and fit it into the radiator housing in front of the first cross piece. So the end of the radiator panel fits into the slot formed between the cross piece and the upright pegs. No glue, and I must stress this again, no glue is needed. So what we need to do, we need to slot it in here. Now you can see here that we've got some sort of, if I just get my tweezers, you can see here that there's a slot. There's just a slot just here, and this is where this part here is going to go into, making sure that you've got the one with lines on facing at the front. And that's just literally going to sit in the front of that like that. It has just come apart, so let me just fix that up. So no glue is needed apparently, so that's quite handy. And there we go. That is how that lovely piece goes in there. Look at that. Very, very nice indeed. That is gorgeous. Right, okay. So once we've done that, I suspect we're going to put another panel behind here. So yeah, we're going to do exactly the same now. So we know that we don't need to look at the parts because we've just done that. So I'm just going to basically, because I mislaid these and I found them today and we don't even need them. So it's pretty cool. So we're going to gradually get that out. I mean, if you've got, you can see here that that pin is incredibly small. So obviously there's no way I would get that down there, in my opinion, but others may try. They might be able to, who knows? So let's get this, I'm just bending it backwards and forwards. And as you can see, it comes off fairly straight, okay? So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna do exactly the same. So you're gonna have that part there, but this time they want the lines at the back and then this is where it's sort of like different, because the first one had the side lines, then these ones going up. This one is having the lines going up and then the side ones going over the top like that. Okay, and this one is going to slot again. As you can see here, you've got a groove just here. Inside here, you've got a groove, which is where this part here is going to fit into. Okay. So yes, I'm working currently quite a lot in arrears in this build at the moment. There's not much we can do about it. Right, so yeah, this is where it's going to go. So you've got the lines and it's going to slot down into this little groove like so. I absolutely love that. I think that's superb. I really do like that. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. Right, so that's that part done. The next part, what we're going to do, look at that. I love getting rid of rubbish. Look at that. Perfect. I can go down there into bin. So this, it seems, is a lot of push fit connections. So we'll see how well they're. Yeah, this is where they say to use a little bit of super glue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my Gorilla Glue. I've got a cocktail stick on standby. What we'll do is we'll do a test fit first, and then we'll mix some glue up. Because what we now need to do, we need to look at these parts very similar. I think they're identical. Yeah, they're near enough identical. So what we're going to do, you can see that this one goes on the other side. So we need the one that goes on this side. You've got 2 pins, which is one there and one there, and 2 little pins, like virtually right next door to it, either side of there. We're going to be working on the 2 inner pins, which are these larger pins, which are going to feed into one there and one there. So we're going to test fit it first, just to make sure I'm happy with the fit. Yeah, and that goes in quite nice. That's a nice flush fit. So once I've done that, I'm going to erect that off slightly. We'll just erect that. And then what we're going to do is I'll mix up some glue. Now, this glue is absolutely fantastic. I'm just giving it a shake because it does start to clog up in there. So I'm just going to give it a shake. And then once I've done that, I will put it in the thing. So there we go. Absolutely fantastic stuff this is. And as you see, I no longer use Loctite. You get so much more in this than you do with Loctite. So you don't need a lot, but just a smidge. And then we'll pop that onto there. I'll grab myself a cocktail stick, which I've got on standby. And let me just grab that cocktail stick. And what we're going to do, there's 2 ways you could do this. You could put the glue on the pins and some in the hole, or you could just put them in the hole. I think for me, I'm not going to put them in the top on the pins. I'm going to shove a dollop into that hole. So I'm just going to get a little bit of glue and we'll pop that to one side. And then I'm literally going to pop it in there and just give it a gentle rotation round into the hole. What you're doing there is as you're putting that in, you're rotating the glue around the column that's inside of it. Okay, so we'll get that out. Just pop another dollop. Have to be careful here not to get excess on the actual plastic. So we just pop that there like so. Once we've done that, we can then apply this section here on. So this is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, let's get that straight. So just to point out again, you want this longer point at the front with the shorter point at the back. Okay, so where you've got this longer point, let's get this straight. I think it's that one. I just need to pay some attention here. So let's have a look. So yeah, you can see you've got a straight edge. So I've just swapped them because the short wedge needs to go to that side. Okay. And then obviously the longer part goes up the front, as you can see. So that was lucky I just noticed that. So that's fantastic. So we'll just hold that into position. This one seems to take a little bit of persuasion, but we'll feel that go in and we'll just hold that into there for a couple of minutes. We'll just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and that should be that. So now what we can do is go back to this side and we'll pop a dollop into there. Yeah, I just literally noticed that, so that's a good point. I sorted that out. There we go. Who's the other people watching? I can see 7 people watching. come on in the chat if you wish. You're very welcome. Just want to point out the Route Master giveaway will end tonight at approximately midnight. So it is your last chance to try and win the Route Master giveaway. And yeah, the winner will be announced by artificial intelligence on the the spinny wheel thing on the 5th. We're just going to push that in, and that's gone in there quite lovely. I like the fact of hearing that push, that click, because that means it's gone in fine, and you can see that that's clicked into place as well. So overall, that's been really, really enjoyable issue. I think that's absolutely stunning. So let's put that there for a minute, because the last thing that we've got, that's all that we've got to do, guys, because this little handle, as you can see, this is not actually going to be used yet. It does actually say that the radiator panels have been fitted into the radiator housing. The angle pipe, which is this section here, this is the angle pipe. This will be used in a future issue, so you do need to store it safely. And I do, because things of that size I do get missing quite easily. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do to that. I think the easiest option for this is to put it in one of these. That way I can't lose it. Because if you remember in my Ford video, I lost the spring for the Ford. So let's put that into there, and then I will know where that is. So as you can see, it goes in there quite lovely, and that can go into that. So lovely, quick, easy issue. Now let's have a look what's coming up. And as you can see, that's glued again, glued very, very nicely. And I'm just going to test that back. I absolutely love this radiator grille. I think that's superb. I think they've done a lovely job there. Let's just test that flat. Yeah, you've not got much play in that, so that's quite cool. I quite like that. So yeah, I don't want to force it. It does look like it stops there. So yeah, we'll leave that there. So let's have a look inside the next issue and see what's coming up in the next issue. So let's have a look. So 33. Now, 33 is the other part of this wing panel, as you can see. I've actually got that to the other side of me. So maybe we can do this, because I think I'm like 4 weeks behind. What I mean by that is obviously I'm up to date, but I need to get working on the cock base, where the seat sits, so the cockpit. So yeah, maybe we can do this next week. So yeah, looks pretty good. I think that's absolutely fantastic. It's a lovely creamy colour, absolutely fantastic. But yeah, that's what's coming up next week. So yeah, I may do this Sunday, I think. But it depends, because I need to get a new craft knife. But yeah, that is looking really, really cool. Absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I quite like that. At least we got to do this. Until I can work around the cock base. Why do I keep saying cock base? It's cockpit. But yeah, I really like that. It's so enjoyable doing a model. You're building something, and you're learning where each part goes, and it's very, very nice. Absolutely. And as I said, I really do like that detailing. That is absolutely fantastic. Half share products, you're always going to have good quality. I can give you that now. Absolutely. It's even got like this little detailing on the side here, so that's quite nice. But yeah, really, really good. Right, that's all. I know it's only a quick stream, but as I said, that's all we're doing in this issue, just this lovely little radiator grille. So I hope you like that video. Tomorrow you're going to have this. Yes, I can exclusively reveal my Wozzy bike helmet has arrived. The premium Wozzy bike helmet. Look at that. That will be coming up in a product review coming very soon, which is going to be tomorrow. And it looks like the sun visor lifts down. So Shamrock, if you're watching, once again, that's Shamrock. I have got this, and I will do that tomorrow. So that's that. And then obviously it'll be back to the diamond painting, which is the tiger. So hope you like that. Take care and have a lovely evening.